Good afternoon, and welcome Employer Community Partners to today's event. My name is Kenny Greer, and I am one of the Masters of the Ceremonies.
My name is Leela Adams, and I'm the other Masters of Ceremonies tonight.
We are both going to be graduate students of the class of 2018. I have been in the district since kindergarten.
I've been in the district since first grade, so about 12 years now.
And then for future plans, as for myself, I plan to attend college, still debating on where I want to go. I'm now looking at the University of Colorado as well as Appalachian State University in the Master of Human Development in Psychology.
I intend to plan college too in nurse practitioning or psychology, and I'm hoping I can get a soccer scholarship to go.
First of all, we want to thank the Underground team for allowing us to host this event here. We would like to introduce Mr. Mike Follett, the Executive Director.
Thanks, guys. I mean, this is awesome. This is our future, and really excited to see where you guys are going, and thanks for emceeing. I'm Mike Follett, Executive Director of the Underground. How many of you have been here before? Not many of you. That's great, because anytime that we can showcase our place, we love it, that we can do that. And we've been in this community since 2004, and we love being in this community of Forest Park, and we are getting more and more involved. And we love hosting the Winton schools here today. So a little bit about the Underground. We are all about empowering teens to tell life-changing stories. We believe if we're going to change and impact culture, it is through storytellers, teenagers. So we do that through music and film school, and we also have a safe place here on the weekends that a lot of teens come in here to perform on this stage as storytellers, or through our film school where we have teens behind and in front of a camera. One of the things that we are so excited to partner with Winton Woods is our after-school program. Last year, we launched it in the fall, where we have Winton Woods teenagers that are here from 3 to 6, Monday through Thursday, and it is a safe place for them. Since it's a new tech school, every student has a Chromebook. Well, we have the Wi-Fi. So students come here, they can work on projects, they can do their homework, but also they get involved in our music and film programs. So we've had a number of teens get involved in our rap hip-hop beats class that we do, and that is 2 days a week. And then we also do a film experience that they can get involved in. Last year we had over 270 students from the high school get involved, and this year we're expecting it to be even greater. Right now we're averaging 40 to 50 kids here after school. So if you'd like to partner with us, one of the things that we could really use are volunteers to help mentor these young people when they come here. It's just 3 hours once a week. So if you would like to do that, get involved in some way, Rebecca is back there in the sound booth, and she is more than willing to tell you more about how we can be a resource to you and how you can be a resource to the young people here at the Underground. So thank you for being here, and enjoy the program.
This is a very important event for us for several reasons. One of those reasons being it gives us an opportunity to engage our schools with the community. Another reason is it gives us a chance to showcase our talents of the students with the community.
And it also gives us the opportunity to tell you what's happening in our district, such as we are one of the designated communities in best music education. Also, we have a new rowing team and a lacrosse team. Also, our football team is 6-0, ranked #1 in Division II, and they're on their way now to get us another win and make us 7-0.
But most importantly, as of this year, we are a pre-K through 12th grade new tech district with wall-to-wall PBL. Here's a video to give you a deeper understanding of what that's like.
What if school was a place where students were engaged and inspired?
What if all learners pre-K through 12th grade were problem solvers, creators, communicators, and collaborators?
What if classes offered real-world, relevant, authentic learning experiences?
What if students could develop the skills most valued by employers?
With the new tech model, we will provide a pre-K through 12th grade pathway for students to incorporate the principles.
Teaching that engages, culture that empowers,
Technology that enables,
And outcomes that matter.
educational transformation is happening across the country.
and here at Winwood City Schools.
I remember the very first day of school. My teachers was just like, all right, get up, introduce yourself to your new group. Like, I was like a deer in headlights. I was so used to just doing my book work, turning it in and getting my credit.
I was so used to teachers giving me worksheets and learning out of textbooks.
It was difficult at first, but it became a lot easier very quickly, and it gets easier for me every day.
Switching over last year to project-based learning and going to the Academy of Global Studies was life-changing for me, both as a professional and personally. I would never go back.
You start with the core values, the core lessons that you're supposed to learn, the standards, and you go from there and you work your way into how you're going to make that engaging, how you're going to make this authentic, how you're going to make it real to the student, how are you going to make them want to buy in and be a part of this thing, how are you going to make a real world problem that they want to solve. It completely revamped and changed everything I knew about education.
The projects are not just projects, but they're standards-based projects. So it would have been the same material that you learned from the textbook, where you take the test, you forget the material. The projects just brings it alive, and then you start internalizing it and making it real for you every day.
So in essence, it's the same idea of teaching the standards and the content in the sections of a book, except for it's meaningful and it's purposeful.
They're able to use critical thinking skills, delve deeper into the material, and then actually apply it.
That first group project kind of taught me that project-based learning isn't like doing projects in traditional education. It's a lot easier than that.
You all use your special skills, your strengths and weaknesses, and you put them together and you compromise, and then you reach your goal.
If you want to get the job done right, and if you want it to be easier for you, you have to push yourself to collaborate. That means talk to the people around you, work with them. If you have a question, don't be afraid to ask them about it.
If I don't know something, I know someone else knows it, then I ask that person. It's about collaborating.
There's always some kind of collaboration piece where you have to be able to communicate with other people and do everything you can to make sure that the product that you produce is the best it can be.
The students buy in and they own their projects. They own what they're doing. What they are producing is theirs. In the process of developing their product, they learn as much as they can about the concepts.
When you make something meaningful to a student, you can make it meaningful in a way at their level. So those kids who understand everything the first time you say it, you can push them further than you've ever pushed them before. But in addition, it's for those students who don't necessarily understand things that well. Being able to incorporate physical interpretations of mathematics specifically helps them to understand what the numbers mean and then help them to remember it.
The questions that they ask, they show that they're grasping concepts at a level that's greater than what you even expected them to get in the beginning.
Once you get into that whole spiel and they start going and they start rocking and rolling through a project, it's amazing to see their engagement level and how much they want to be a part of the project and they want to learn.
It's not just for math though, it's for English, it's for science, it's for history, and as a result I can incorporate all of those subjects into my math classroom, and those subjects can incorporate math into theirs.
We give them a foundation, but it's their responsibility to take that foundation and create this entire incredible learning environment. So the foundation, that's our responsibility, and we're really, really good at it. But as far as the creativity, that's where they come in.
I would be teaching a novel, and I've taught this novel for years, but by wrapping it around a project, they get even more engaged, and they come in and they want to learn about Othello. Who wants to learn about Shakespeare when they're in 10th grade? Well, these guys do.
I feel like ever since I've entered into project-based learning, I've gotten pretty confident with myself just because I have to present in front of people, and I've also realized what my strengths and weaknesses are.
You get the knowledge a lot quicker because you're not like staring at a book trying to figure out what it's saying. You can go find the source that's easiest for you to understand.
It's different every day and you can't really prepare for it because you're not You're no longer just teaching a class, now you're facilitating the class and you're giving them what they need and you're trying to add resources and value any place that you can. That's the coolest piece, is they don't even know they're learning half the time and they come out and they're like, man, I know all this stuff that I didn't know before.
We're going not like an inch deep anymore, we're going a mile deep and a mile wide, and then it gives them the opportunity to apply what they learn as well.
I'm so used to, relying on myself and researching and using technology as my benefit. But usually in traditional school, they're not really given laptops to, do their own research or find creative ways to present.
I was told that we were going to get laptops, and a laptop was basically our textbook. So I was confused. I was like, how is this going to work? I didn't feel comfortable with online work. My teachers just told me, don't be afraid of technology. It's a tool. It's a helpful tool. If the teacher can't help you, you have something to rely on.
So Echo is the technology platform that we use to help aid in the project-based learning process. It was developed to be something like a Blackboard that's used at the college level, but also something like a progress book that was already currently in use at Winton Woods. It's supposed to be a form of technology that's not just utilized to check grades, but it's something that the students and teachers can interact with as well as communicate.
I really like that about project-based learning. It gives me an opportunity to explore things more.
It's brought me personally to the next level because the Academy of Global Studies focuses on different cultures, and the NTN network combines with that.
Technology has been a huge impact on project-based learning.
So the three main tenets of the culture are trust, respect, and responsibility. The idea around New Tech Network is that students are in a collaborative environment with adults that happen to be facilitators rather than teachers.
I don't have to be, and I am no longer the person that holds the keys to everything. And that's the best part. We explore that together.
When you give them that power, you see a whole different side of them. I mean, their creativity level is through the roof. And they surprise you every single day with something.
Your teacher no longer becomes a teacher, they become your teacher and your friend. So you're able to communicate with them when they're having problems. When you're not understanding something in a project, you can always ask them for help, and you're not afraid to do that.
It's more of that teacher and student relationship and trust that I learned just as much she learns from me.
Once we have an understanding of communication of both sides with one another, we can start to create a culture that empowers. A culture that allows students to be able to feel like they have a say, to feel like they have choice, and to feel like they matter.
Once you kind of know that people are going to listen when you're speaking, it gives you this kind of confidence. As your confidence builds, so does your leadership.
I can voice my opinion, I can ask questions, and I'm not afraid to receive the answer.
People rely on you. You're assigned to a part and they expect you to get that part done. And if you don't, there's consequences.
Being able to teach something to someone else shows the highest level of thinking and understanding. Being able to sit there and listen to your peer shows the utmost level of respect, responsibility, and trust in them. To understand that it's not just a learning experience, but it's a culture that we're building. Helping them to be able to meet everybody where they're at, helping all students to work together no matter what their strengths and weaknesses are.
I think that in the beginning, people thought you had to be something special to become part of it. Well, you're special just because you're here. So embracing that attitude just makes it just go full circle for us. We found out that there was an opportunity for the Straight A grant, and the teaching and learning director, along with some other people, started designing it, working on it, drafting it, and it was really about the expansion of our New Tech experience. We'll scale it all the way down to our elementary schools, primary, north, and south, so all of our schools will have the same opportunity. So imagine a student who's had the PBL experience as a first grader or a kindergarten, and by the time he becomes a senior, we won't be able to hold that kid down.
The things that the students gain through PBL, besides just content, outcomes that matter.
Cultivating what we like to call a global citizen. Someone who not only can work with people in their local community, not only can work with people in their profession, but can collaborate with anybody, no matter who they are.
It has opened my eyes. Like I am a leader. I am able to communicate with anyone now. I'm able to feel comfortable with anyone and speak to them as if they were my friend, as if I already knew who you are.
I feel like personally I'm more than prepared for college because of the fact of knowing how to communicate with other people and collaborate with them and just work together. You have people from different communities, different backgrounds, different languages come together for one goal of education.
I feel like project-based learning gets kids into doing fun things and wanting to learn and having an open mindset.
I would never go back. I would not go back to the traditional way at all. Teaching project-based learning is rigorous, it's challenging, it's creative, it's fun, and I think my students learn better with PBL than they ever did with traditional. My scores show it, my grades show it, and the participation among my students shows it as well.
When the assessments come out and it shows that these kids are doing exceptionally well, then more teachers are like, whoa, I can take a sigh of relief. We have fun and we learned at the same time.
If you enjoy seeing kids really learn, if that's what you want and you enjoy that process of seeing them really learn, really invested in what they're doing, then PBL is what you want to be doing.
One day, because we believe in what we believe, one day they'll come up and say, you were number 2, the second New Tech district in the country, but guess what? You're really number 1. This whole New Tech experience is not a silver bullet. It's just a golden opportunity.
So that just kind of gives you guys a little deeper understanding of what's really happening inside the schools. I'm proud to say that everything that video said is 100% true. I couldn't be more proud of the school I'm coming out of. Next, we want to take a look at the back of the program you guys have in front of you to give you a little feel of some upcoming events you guys might want to stop in and check out. Highly recommended. We have our homecoming for the students on October 13th. The parade is at 5 p.m. that Friday, and the game shortly follows at 7 p.m. We have a community tailgate on October 27th of 2017 from 4:30 to 6.
And to show you what we're actually doing and to show you like our projects and how we are growing in this project-based learning environment, we have actually student project expeditions that show. We have one for the Winwoods High School students, the Winwoods Middle School students, intermediate, elementary, primary, north, primary, south. And if you can see all the dates where you can come and see what we're doing in the classroom. You can see what we're presenting and what we're putting out into the world.
And then one final event that's on here that I highly recommend everybody come out and check us out down there. It is a Night of Freedom at the National Underground Railroad Freedom Center. It's all grades are going to be there on March 22nd of 2018. More information on that will come out later. And then the Warrior Expert cards that you also have on your table. If you just take a look at that, and we highly recommend that you follow the link and sign up. It gives you guys a chance to tell us what your profession is, and then the teachers at the high school can reach out to you guys, or at any school, I believe, right, Ms. Denny? So any of the schools, they can reach out to you guys if they're doing a project and your profession fits in. They can bring you guys into this classroom, and you can kind of teach or talk to the students about how what they're doing is really going to affect them at the end of their career. And then we did talk about how we have been designated one of the best communities for music education. And now we're going to give you guys a little taste of what that actually sounds like. So we are proud to introduce our varsity ensemble and their director, Mr. Joe Watley.
Thank you, Kenny and Leela. As the kids come up, I just wanted to speak a few words. We're very, very excited to be here. And we're even more excited that the rest of the district has finally joined the music community and project-based learning. We like to joke about that a lot, how music has been project-based learning for as long as we can remember. This is just the way we do things in music. So the fact that it's expanding out to all of the subjects makes us very excited, and I think it's going to really do well for the rest of the community. A few words before we start. We're going to sing 2 pieces for you. The first one is called Celine's Boat. I usually call it something else in class, something that it's not. It's Celine's Boat. It's going to feature a few students. It's going to feature number 1, Mr. Cameron Barnes, who is a percussionist and a member of our tenor section. He's going to be playing what's called a happy drum, which is located right here on this side of the stage. Cameron, give the folks a little wave. That's Cameron. And then we're going to have a few duets. The first duet is going to be by bass Liam White and tenor Ryan Hamilton. The second set of duets is going to be by sophomore Camille Austin and soprano junior Carrie Sullivan. We hope you enjoy the performance. do what we do without the awesome support of the district, without the awesome support of our community. Thank you for that. On behalf of myself and my co-teacher, Mrs. Miller, who has a huge role in this group and all the groups at the high school, we want to thank you for being here, thank you for listening, and we have one more song for you. This is a song called Come Thou Fount. It is by composer Mark Wilberg. Mark Wilberg is the director of the famous Mormon Tabernacle Choir in Utah, and in 2 weeks, this group gets to work with him here in Cincinnati. He's coming to Cincinnati to do a program with the Cincinnati Fusion Ensemble, who we have partnered with over the last few years, and they have brought us in for this special performance with Matt Wilberg, excuse me, and something like performing with the director of the world famous Mormon Tabernacle Choir is one of the few things that we do here for our students, one of the great experiences we have for them. So we're very excited about that and enjoy this last piece.
Streams of
Okay, next we would like to honor Mr. Thomas Urban as our keynote speaker for today. Thomas Urban has been with Mercy Health since 1993. He has led growth and developed initiatives that have established Mercy Health Fairfield Hospital as the leading healthcare provider in Butler County. He became president of Mercy Health Fairfield Hospital in March 2008. Prior to that, Mr. Urban was Senior Vice President, Catholic Health Partners, and President and CEO of the CHP, Southwest Ohio region since May 2002. Under Mr. Urban's regional leadership, the organization developed tertiary services at Mercy Health, Anderson, and Fairfield hospitals, and he has provided oversight for the expansion and upgrading of the services at Mercy Health, Claremont Hospital.
Mr. Urban also served as the region's Senior Vice President of Health Delivery and Vice President/Chief Integration Officer, following 5 years as President of the Mercy Health Fairfield Hospital and former Hamilton Hospital. Prior to joining CHP, Mr. Urban served Beverly Hospital in Beverly, Massachusetts, as Executive Vice President/Chief Operating Officer. He also served as Vice President of Professional Services for Lee Memorial Health System in Fort Myers, Florida. His other experience includes serving as Assistant Vice President of Hospital Services for Grandview Hospital in Dayton, Ohio. Mr. Urban earned a Bachelor's of Arts degree in Sociology from Colgate University in 1974, and a Master's of Health Administration from Xavier University. He is a Fellow of the American College of Healthcare Executives. His community activities have included leadership roles with the Greater Cincinnati Health Council, Ohio Hospital Association, Bridges for a Just Community, Mercy Heart Mini Marathon Executive Leadership Committee, Mount Notre Dame High School Board, Butler County United Way, and the Board of Health Improvement Collaborative of Greater Cincinnati. He currently serves on Xavier University's College of Professional Sciences Advisory Board.
Mr. Urban has received the Citizen of the Year Award from the Southeastern Butler County Chamber of Commerce in 1996. In 2004, Mr. Urban received the Distinguished Alumni Service Award from Xavier University Graduate Program in Health Services Administration Alumni Association. Please help us welcome Mr. Thomas Urban.
How about our two masters of ceremony? They did a great job. I've got to go for the abridged version of that. It's just a lot of stuff and takes too much time. I had the pleasure of sitting with two city council members. Now you probably know how to do this. I'd like to cede my time back to that ensemble because weren't they unbelievably great? Next time she asks me to do this, I am not going up on stage after that group. Because I could sit and listen to them all afternoon. I really could. So we'll change the agenda next time. They should really be the keynote. I really only want to share a few thoughts with you today. I know everyone, I want to be respectful of everyone's time. And again, I could have listened to that group for the rest of the day. Tom Urban, I have been here since '93, so almost 25 years. April of '93, I've been associated with Mercy. And it's been a great ride, lots of changes, just like you're experiencing in your businesses or organizations or school district. Healthcare, needless to say, is undergoing a lot of changes as well. When I was in Massachusetts, what attracted me, among other things, to come really back to Cincinnati, I was here for graduate school in the 70s, really was the power of Mercy. What I mean by that is, and some of you may know, Mercy is a faith-based organization founded by the Sisters of Mercy, is very mission-centered, patient-centered. Our mission statement really speaks volumes, and it's something that has not changed over all these years as the world around us and healthcare does change. We extend the healing ministry of Jesus by improving the health of the communities we serve, with emphasis on the poor and the underserved. And that mission statement has been our bedrock for a long time. For the history teachers in the audience, if there may be some, the sisters actually came to Cincinnati in the 1850s, 1858. And that's at a time where Cincinnati was experiencing a great deal of immigration. Mostly a lot of Irish immigrants during that time, in the late 1850s, and German immigrants. And the Archbishop Purcell at the time reached out across the ocean, so to speak, to Dublin, Ireland, and 11 Sisters of Mercy arrived here in Cincinnati in 1858 to begin their ministry. They were really the first social workers in Cincinnati, if you will, tending not just to the Irish and German immigrants, but to everyone. The sisters migrated north up here in Butler County, and actually 2017 is the 125th anniversary of the sisters opening their first Mercy Hospital in Hamilton. That is quite a legacy of caring and history in our community. The sisters who were in charge back then had great vision and foresight and courage back in the early mid-70s to identify this area where we're standing, literally. An area of growth. 275 was not completed back there in the early 70s. And we were able to get the land donated by Esther Benzing. Some of you may know Esther's house still stands over there behind Cincinnati Financial, right across the highway. 40 acres for the sisters to build Mercy Hospital Fairfield. And we opened the doors back in 1978, September of 78. So next year will be our 40th anniversary of Mercy Hospital Fairfield, serving this community and everything around us. And we take that history and that legacy very seriously. And I think that's why many people decide to come to Mercy and work for us. Not everyone, of course, but it was a magnet for me to join an organization that really, you know why you work there. And you know why you work hard to do what you do, no matter what. I'm not a caregiver, I'm not a clinical person, but I, like many others, are in a supportive role for those that do lay hands on patients. But that mission focus that we have, we try to create a culture, like we heard earlier, where we really work hard at treating the whole person. And that's not just a saying or a slogan or something on the wall, but that idea of holism was a gift that the sisters gave us and that we honor today. And that is always looking for ways to care for people, mind, body, and spirit. People come to us obviously because they're physically ill or they're concerned, they need a diagnosis, they need care. So the body is really what drives people to use our services. But I can say with pride and conviction, and granted I am the hospital president, that most people who choose to work at a Mercy Health facility, and certainly the one across the street in Fairfield, are very mindful of that important connection between mind, body, and spirit, both of the patient and their families. A sister, when I started with the organization many years ago, said this to me, and it's kind of stuck with me, and kind of epitomizes that idea of holistic care, and that the fact that everyone who comes to us for care, we cannot cure everyone who comes to us for care. People are going to die, and we all are too. We can't cure it, but we have an opportunity to heal everyone who comes to us for care. And when you give that some thought, that's where that the mind, body, spirit come together. And that's the one thing, one of many things, I guess I should say, that despite all the competition in this North Market, Butler County, Northern Hamilton County, that's occurred over the last few years, just like you in business have experienced competition as well. I think that's really the bedrock that sustains us despite all the competition from the Tri-House or the Christ or the UCs of the world as they kind of come north and try to establish some healthcare facilities or services. Because I really do believe people that come to the hospital receive great care, and they feel that the care they receive and the fact that they were treated as a person is meaningful to them, and that's why they come back. When I saw the video, when we watched that a few minutes back, the parallels to healthcare are dramatic. As I'm sure some of you, the community partners in the audience today, maybe felt that same way. The more Mercy Health gets involved with Winton Woods schools, the more appreciative I am, the more committed I am and our organization is to what Winton Woods is trying to do in terms of redefining education for these group of young people that are coming through the district. We are a committed community partner, some of you in the audience are as well. And the more I learn, the more excited I am to be in that role. Real quickly, but going through that video, that project-based learning, that's in a healthcare environment, that collaboration is the key to really one of the keys to achieving optimal healthcare. Think of all the people that a person who's an inpatient comes in contact with, dozens sometimes in the healthcare visit, dozens, not just a doctor and a nurse, but respiratory therapists, X-ray techs, and someone drawing your blood, someone delivering the food. So that teamwork and the ability to work well with teams and toward finding the right care plan and executing it for the patient is critical. And I'm very impressed with that approach of project-based learning technology. You're talking to someone that, even email is tough at some point for me. But the importance of technology in healthcare, for those of you who maybe are in healthcare or have been in a hospital or have some association with hospitals or health facilities, it's all about technology. It's all about technology. And the people coming out now, the young people, not all of them young, but for nursing or radiology or lab, name it. Even people that support the people in the hospital, you have to understand technology, and it is a great enabler. It doesn't take care of people, but it enables caregivers, doctors, nurses, and others to give better care. So it was very impressive to see how that is being exhibited in the school district. The other element that I was impressed with that maybe resonates with you is this idea of the culture is empowering. The culture is really critical, and that's one of the things that is important for leadership to be mindful of. And at Fairfield, I had the benefit, or have the benefit of that Catholic background, that faith-based background, that gift that the sisters gave us, literally. There's not many of them around anymore, so they depend on people like me to carry that forward. But that culture of caring really is critical. And empowerment is also, because in the old days, even before my time, I remember the nurses that have been around a while that tell me that how they used to have to stand up when the doctor came on the nurse's station. Now, that's pretty foreign to me, even though I'm an older person. But that's one example. But now it's all, we create a culture where anyone, certainly nurses who spend the most time with the patients when they're inpatient, but can raise their hand and say, wait a minute, I'm not sure about this one. Maybe we should pause, maybe we should check with the pharmacist. Really empowering the care team, we're working together in a collaborative way to do what's best for the patient. And even though the physicians are still kind of the captains of that ship, even they, and the new ones coming out especially, the younger ones, understand that it really, they need to pause and listen and take that comment or question or concern into consideration in order to take the best care of the patient. So empowering the workforce and creating the culture where that's okay is important. And the last one was also interesting, was outcomes. In healthcare, we would focus and have focused a lot and still do to a certain extent on process. And if you're in for pneumonia, you get down there and you check the boxes and make sure that you do things in sequence. It's very regimented. regimented, and it should be. But what we were losing sight of, kind of as an industry, was really, we did everything right, but the patient died. So it's a lot more focus that's occurring in hospitals and healthcare now on how's the patient doing? And yes, we need to make sure we check all the right boxes, but the goal is an optimal outcome for the patient. And sometimes that outcome is defined by the patient and their family themselves, not just us defining that outcome. So all of those elements that were shared with us in the video really spoke to me in its application in the hospital or healthcare environment. So I will kind of end there, just to say that this kind of revolution or evolution in healthcare has been very exciting for me professionally. I've been in healthcare now 42 years, and it's a very exciting time to be in healthcare. And even though there's lots of changes going on, we in leadership have an opportunity to impact those changes, and certainly at Mercy, where we look to create clinical integrated delivery networks to offer best care to everyone in our community up north and throughout Greater Cincinnati. So I'm going to pause there. There was a little piece on the agenda today for questions. Karina, I don't know if that's, I'm certainly willing to take one or two, and I'll be available afterwards. I appreciate being able to spend a few minutes with you this afternoon and be part of this event. I know many of you are already community partners with the Winton School District, and if you're thinking about it, I would strongly encourage it. I look forward to many more years of working together to see how we can collaborate to improve not just the healthcare, but the educational system in our communities. So thank you all very much.
Once again, let's thank Mr. Thomas Urban for coming today and speaking.
Thank you. I just wanted to take a minute. We heard about our educational forum here at Winton Woods. It's extremely innovative, but we cannot do this without such a supportive board. And we have 3 board members here with us today. We have our president, Jessica Miranda. Board member Paula Kuhn. And board member Jeff Worthy. Ms. Douglas and Dr. Johnson aren't with us, but I know they send their well wishes. And our fierce leader, Anthony G. Smith, is out of town, but he will be back soon, and he sends his regards.
Alrighty, and that concludes today's ceremony. I would like to thank you all for coming out and giving us a little bit of your time. It really means a lot to us.